Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another night of CEVO-Dota. My name is Gorgon the Wonder Cow, and I'm here with Toffee's Dota as we bring you Week 1.2, second match of the season. This is between Top 5 and Wild Witch Doctors. Toffees, how you doing today, bud?
I am great. It's good to be here. And if you're interested in upcoming matches, you can head over to Twitter and follow me at Toffees_Dota2. But enough shameless self-plugging.
All right. At the end of that shameless self-plug, we are looking at bands already moving through. Top 5 snagging that Nature's Prophet and taking Wild Witch Doctors. Their opportunity to grab that Nature's Prophet is gone.
And the Knicks, don't forget that.
Yeah.
I asked in Twitch chat, do you think he'll want Knicks or Nature's Prophet? And Top 5 said, we'll just get rid of both.
Yeah, and of course, the he here being the famed IX Mike of Team Liquid fame. He pretty much always runs one of the two. Very, very much likes to run those guys in an off lane into an aggressive gank style lineup. And now we're going to have to see him play something a little bit different, maybe something a little bit cheeky. We'll keep our finger on the pulse of that.
Absolutely. So Nature's Prophet presumably will be going into, I think, whatever's hands today. Some of the names, I've been trying to track Top 5 for a bit, and I think that whatever also goes by wrong from time to time. So we can talk about the draft, but on these teams, just to give you guys a little bit of background, Top 5, a very interesting team, international, with members from the US, China, and Canada. So not something you see all that often on competitive teams because those time zones do make it difficult to sync up. And we should see some good play out of them. Right now, I don't know if you know this, but I went through some rankings, and a Top 5 is, according to JD, ranked 112, and WWD is 44. So a pretty big discrepancy, but Top 5 has been making a pretty big name for themselves recently.
Yeah, Top 5, one of the reasons that they're ranked so far back on the JD is because they play a lot of tournaments. They do very well in all the tournaments that they play, but they play a lot of tournaments that don't really get coverage at Join Dota and Gasu Gamers. They play, the smaller community tournaments, as they are not typically considered like a semi-pro level team. They're really more of a community competitive level team, but they are very, very strong for what they do. And I think Team Wild Witch Doctors would be amiss to underestimate their opponents here.
Absolutely. I've seen Top 5 play a lot, and they are very good at what they do, and look forward to seeing that. So let's talk a little bit about the draft. Nature's Prophet, Ancient Apparition, a pretty good combo. Ancient Apparition has sort of surged to the, I would say, second tier of supports that we keep seeing showing up in tournaments now.
Yeah, I would say second tier, probably a good place to put him. He's kind of in between second and first right now, depending on what team you're watching. But on average, second tier, probably about where we would say we see him.
So I do enjoy it. I think I like his combo. I like his abilities. I think he's difficult to play, obviously, because of the dichotomy of keeping the distance for your Ice Blast, but getting in nice and close to make sure that cold feet and that chilling touch is up. But he has the ability to put out a lot of additional damage early on in the game.
Absolutely. The Bat Rider being picked up, do you think that's going to be our IX Mike? Because it looks like it very well could be.
Yeah, IX Mike pretty much exclusively plays the offlane right now, so I don't see a lot of Bat Rider in the mid anymore. But if they do choose to go with that sort of old school Bat Rider, then I doubt it'll be on IX Mike. It would most likely be on SNA, but it's definitely, I think he works really well in the offlane, and that could definitely be an IX Mike.
Yeah, one of the changes that Bat Rider, as well as Broodmother, took very recently in 6.80 flat, I think 6.80A, was that they can no longer break the map. They can no longer go outside the boundaries of the map. And that weakens the Bat Rider just a little bit in the offlane because he knocks down the trees he goes through, which means he can be chased unless he does get over a cliff, over a river edge, something along those lines. Purely impassable terrain that is on the map. So he's a little easier to hunt down. But of course, if you're chasing a Bat Rider who's got Firefly up through a jungle path that he's created, you're chasing him through that Firefly. And I've seen multiple occasions where First Blood has been turned around because the team was too enthusiastic about chasing the Firefly through the woods.
Absolutely. So I'm looking for Top 5 to pick up a hard right-clicking carry here. Looks like they're going for a bit of that aura/chilling touch combo, which I think those two put together could be pretty lethal in that mid to late game.
Yeah, Top 5 seems to be going for a more mid-late game oriented strategy. That Nature's Prophet will probably go for some sort of a DPS, a little bit of gank. I would be a little surprised to see him go for a Necrobook out of the gate. We'll probably see a Midas style build. That Vengeful Spirit as a support is one of the later game supports in the game. So Wild Witch Doctors, they still have a little bit of opportunity to go either way, although I'd expect them to be a little bit earlier, along the lines of the Lion, and the Bat Rider also does better earlier, as does obviously the Crystal Maiden to a huge extent. So
yeah, I mean, the amount of damage they can put out. Crystal Maiden, they recently, I forgot who wrote the article, did a study on who has the highest damage output on the support. And at level 2, Crystal Maiden has the highest damage output of any support, scaling up into that 4 and 5. Also listen to a really interesting discussion about the value of Crystal Maiden just jungling. Have you heard of it? So basically, and it hadn't even occurred to me, is the idea that Crystal Maiden, when she's sitting in the jungle, does as much to damage the ability of top 5 to move around or plan, because they always have to expect Crystal Maiden to come out and do that old Alchemist style gank.
Not only is she, I guess, map controlling by absence the way a Pudge would, but she's also maximizing returns. She's creating farm where very few supports can create farm. I'd say it's probably Crystal Maiden, Keeper of the Light, and Witch Doctor that can really effectively farm out the jungle from level 1. And even Keeper of the Light, it's pretty shaky because of the golems, and he really has to get some stacks up. Maybe Sand King as well. So you've got maybe 3 hard supports, or 3 or 4, who are able to actually maximize returns on the map in that way. Earthshaker, of course, can do the Ancients to some degree, but not nearly to the success that a Crystal Maiden can. She can jump out of the lane for a solid 4 minutes and not really fall behind in farm, which is very, very valuable.
So it will be a IX Mike Bat Rider, it looks like, and SNA Puck. So SNA loves that Puck, so I like seeing him pick it. It is probably his most common mid pick from the games that I do get to watch him play.
Yeah, that Puck along with the Luna is going to be a very nasty combo. The Bat Rider to open up some plays, and we should see some fairly early aggression coming out of Wild Witch Doctors. If they're not rotating around right around the 10 to 12 minute mark, maybe a little bit earlier, I'd be pretty surprised.
Yeah.
The damage output coming out of top 5 for the late game is going to be really, really devastating. You have the negative armor on the Slardar, the amp damage coming out of the Vengeful Spirit, and the AA's aura, the castable aura, I forget what it's, Chilling Touch. Between all of those, we are looking at an insane amount of late game potential.
Yeah, definitely. So I think WWE is obviously going to have to get up and running pretty early, keep top 5 on their toes, or on their heels, I should say, and let Luna get that farm so they can push in and try to get that win. I would guess the 38 to 44 minute mark is going to be their sweet spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and switch my overlay here, as I switched it from default and it switched back, and I do not like that other one. So, all right, have switched it back. We are going to get going. I'm going to go ahead and let Toffees bring us into the game here by introducing Wild Wild Witch Doctors.
Wild Witch Doctors. Let me flip to the other side of the map real quick. So we're going to have SNA playing the Puck mid. We're going to have Pillows playing the Crystal Maiden with a nice transmog. That's one of my favorites. Oosh is going to be playing the Lion. We're going to have IX Mike 88 playing the Bat Rider, and WWD, himsake of the team, is going to be playing the hard carry Luna.
All right, here for top 5, also exploring their safe lane, is going to be 1, 2, 3, otherwise known as Fight with me on the Slardar. We've got Don't Worry, I'm Here on Vengeful Spirit, the player who was late. I do not know off the top of my head what that player's typical name is. We have Whatever chilling out on that Ancient Apparition. Fly is going to be soaring on the mid Pugna, and in the off lane, we're going to have Shanks taking that Nature's Prophet with the Mushroom mod. Gotta love his cap.
Right?
Straight up Mushroom Kingdom. Taking a look at some of our items, we've got pretty standard fanfare coming out of both teams. Shanks on the Nature's Prophet is going to go ahead and grab himself a pair of boots, which is maybe a little abnormal, but not terribly abnormal. IX Mike also grabbing a pair of boots. Once again, just for some survivability in that off lane. Makes a little more sense for IX Mike, because he does want to be able to get away while fire flying. Nature's Prophet, it will help him survive, but it's maybe not as necessary for his survival.
Yeah, absolutely. So IX Mike does have to depend a lot on his ability to move in and out.
Ooh, I'm going to interrupt you because we have Don't Worry, I'm Here picking up the Haster and charging down after Oosh. Oosh is down about 200 health. He's going to take a stun. And the AA coming in as well. And Oosh is going to be our first blood. It looks like there it is. The AA grabbing that last kill with the Chilling Touch attack. Very, very nice movement coming out
Despite
of
the words of Vengeful Spirit, he was worried because Vengeful Spirit was there, and he paid the price. So that is the danger of getting that rune guard on.
Yeah, the Lion was guarding that rune, but really made no attempt to grab it. He basically was just watching to see who got it, and Vengeful Spirit had seen him across the river already. So he had given himself away, and his team is going to give up the first blood for it, which is a very nice position for top 5 to find themselves in, considering they're really probably not expecting to get into this game in a real hard way until that Slardar is level 9 or 10.
Exactly. So nice early start for them. And Venge a level greedy support. And it's good to see that early kill for her because she will be able to come online a lot faster.
S&A harassing Fly completely out lane. It looks like he might get a kill. He will get a kill.
Down the bottom.
Down in the bottom, we're seeing a 3-pack chase down Shanks, but Shanks will get away.
Crystal Maiden was just barely out of position and wasn't able to get that frostbite up.
That is a shame for WWD. It looks like Shanks is... What is he sitting on in terms of consumables? Go on and grab that. Just some trees. So
yep.
He has already eaten up all of his shared tangos and is now just sitting on his last set of tangos. He's also sitting on what looks like a pooled ward, or maybe the last remaining ward there. So, and Prophet is killed by the Radiant. Where did that happen? Did you see that? Because I did not.
It was
he grabbed the
behind
courier.
The tower.
He grabbed the courier.
Yep.
Jump back here, or was it back? I don't know.
It was in the mid. It was in the mid.
Yeah. Okay. So very nice courier snipe coming out of Shanks. Always better to trade off your offlaner and grab that courier than to not get the courier. There's going to be stun on Ix Mike, but it's not going to amount to too much. A lot of stacks of sticky napalm going up on that Slardar.
So I will say this, and it's been a discussion lately about the emergence of Vengeful Spirit and the Ancient Apparition and a lot of these greedier style level supports, about can you afford to carry 2 of them into a match, because both require levels, both require time to really get up and running. Do you think that those 2 supports are a bit too greedy for top 5?
I think that they work pretty well together in most situations. And part of the reason I think that is because AA is a really not farm-dependent hero at all. He really just needs levels, and he can be globally active. Get that Ice Blast up, and he's all right. The Chilling Touch is also obviously super effective into the mid and late game, as well as in the early game if you do have a tri-lane. But he needs to get levels, so it's a little greedy in terms of experience, but Vengeful Spirit, pretty happy to take any jungle last hits, any last hits that they can grab. Try to get the last hits on heroes where there are not carries around. And AA should be pretty happy to let that go. So I would say that they work fairly well together, but yeah, you do run into the trouble of maybe not having enough experience to go around if you don't run it quite correctly.
So take a quick look at our hard carries matching up very well on the last hits. Mids are matching up as well. So we don't see any huge discrepancy on the lanes right now. Kills pretty even too.
All right, Ix Mike has retired to the jungle. He is going to give free farm to the safe lane. This is pretty standard fanfare for Ix Mike's style play. There is going to be a misstack coming out of CM, which is going to hurt a little bit. Can't afford, with that Bat Rider, you can't afford to be missing those stacks if you're in the jungle. And yeah, up here in the top, they're already down on the tower and doing a little bit of damage here. Ix Mike is going to have to rotate back up if they want to keep this tower past the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, and they're moving actually very quickly on that tower, so they got a lot more damage on it than I expected them to at a 4-minute tick.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of traditional tower damage coming out, but without any sort of defender, you don't need a whole bunch. They had a catapult on that push as well, which does help tremendously. It'll be quite a while before they have another catapult, so Ix Mike, if he gets rid of these creeps, might be able to rotate back down to the jungle fairly safely, but he doesn't want to keep doing that unless somebody's actually stacking for him.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty interesting. The lineup, when we talk about top 5, that they're going to be sort of late game oriented to a certain extent, is also sort of paralleled by the fact that Fly is going to be putting some early damage on that mid tower. He already has. And that mid tower, I think, if they keep in the laning phase, will drop around the 8-9 minute mark. And the top lane, they're trying to do the same thing. So they could have some early tower aggression to really help carry them into that late game transition. I think that's very important for top 5 to come out ahead on this match.
Yeah, so the courier just came up for WWD. I'm going to go ahead and move over to it and take a look at what it's got. On just some boots, some TPs, some general recipes. Hanamitis coming out for somebody, WWD. So that's finally going to be up. It's actually probably been able to be up for quite some time, but they didn't have a courier to bring it to him, which hurts a lot. He got that Midas recipe up very, very quickly. And
insanely
he also has
fast.
Yeah, he's had enough for a little while for the gloves as well. So he could have had that at maybe 4:45, but he's not going to be able to use it until about 6 minutes, it looks like.
So it looks like we got Dust in the secret shop right now. They're just sort of chilling. I'm curious what they're up to.
Yeah, that smoke is just kind of hanging out there. They are not moving on that at all, and they are not shopping either. So we'll have to keep our eyes on those heroes as they move around. Fly rotated into Roshan there, and I'm not 100% sure why. But
if I had to venture a guess, I think what they were trying to do was get that Batrider rotate up again, because they're pushing the top tower right now. And if he had rotated a few seconds ago, he would have ran into a pretty hard roadblock, and Slaughter would have been able to get down there quickly and help out with a kill.
Yeah, if he had rotated up, he probably wouldn't even gone into the shop. Would have come up here, and they would have come in behind him and tried to get that. I don't necessarily think they needed the smoke to do that, though, is the thing. It seems like an unnecessary use of smoke. Shanks is going to teleport up here, and it looks like they're going to full on try to push this. SNA does have an invis rune, and he's going to rotate up through the mid-river. And all 4 of these heroes are going to be forced to back out.
They do. They have to back out. SNA decided not to come up when he saw them backing. I think if SNA had come up and engaged, that probably would have gone pretty badly for them. So I think he made the right choice choosing not to exercise that invis rune on an engagement.
All right, there are some stacks of sticky napalm going out on the Slardar. That should give him second thought to really think about moving in here. Presumably, Oosh has been called MIA at this point too. The Firefly is going up to knock down these creeps, and this is going to be a difficult push to make up against that Firefly.
Down in the mid right now.
Down in the mid, we're seeing an engagement here as Fly is trying to kill SNA, and SNA trying to get away. He got Fly down so low. A very nice phase shift is going to interrupt.
That was an epic phase shift. Yeah, I'm going to give him an epic on that.
That could have come... Was that on cooldown? It must have been on cooldown.
Yeah.
Because he let himself get very, very low. Pretty unnecessarily. And also Fly was down to about 100 when he started that ultimate. And was able to cast it. He has it up again as well. Unfortunately, Puck, one of the hardest heroes to really take down with that Pugna, because he really dials in all his spells from a distance. His ultimate easy to interrupt with that phase shift. And of course, Nether Blast has that long windup. So phase shift very, very adept at dodging Puck's damage, or Pugna's damage.
Yep, hard to kill the Puck, but I really still like the matchup of a mid Pug against a Puck, just because there isn't going to be a kill, but that tower is going to drop every time, usually by that 9-minute mark, and it looks like they're getting real close to that this time as well.
All right, taking a look at some of our items, the Luna has had that hand to minus up since about 5:45. The Slardar has treads up, not a whole lot else. Nature's Prophet just finishes, phase boots. The Lion has just finished Tranquils. And other than that, we don't see any big items coming out on anybody. I want to actually check net worth here.
So while you're looking at net worth, I will point out that Nature's Prophet is only level 3, has had a bit of a hard time getting those jungle, the farm that he wants to get that XP higher than he is currently.
IX Mike is getting really close to his Blink Dagger. Slardar, also pretty close. They're both at about 1,700 gold, and I suspect that is the next item on both of their shopping lists.
Wow. I don't play a lot of Nature's Prophet, but it seems like 71 XP per minute is a bit low.
Yeah, he's been forced out of lane. I wanted to talk about that a little bit earlier. He's been out of his lane a lot. His farm is coming extremely slowly. He did not go for an early Midas. He wasn't able to. There's going to be the Dream Coil in the top lane as the tower falls. There's the orb. Some auto attacks and some stacks. The Firefly goes out, and the Vengeful is going to drop for the tower. Shank's taking some slows from IX Mike as Sticky Napalm goes out. Shank's trying to run away. There's the second. Is there going to be the third? Oh, the mini stun coming out of the Lucent Beam. Will they be able to catch him? That's 3. Pug managing to grab Ancient Apparition on the fallback, and it looks like Shanks is not going to be able to get away here. Too much slow. He's going to be knocked back, and Batrider will take that kill, finally.
Yeah, so 3 for a tower, I think. I think that's a 3 for 2 towers. I still think it goes in the favor of WWD, but I do think top 5 is executing what their plan is, which is take those tier 1s, and then I think we'll see some farm out of them after that.
Yeah, the Slardar got his Blink Dagger up during that as well, so he is feeling all right. If they're doing that well before they had any team fight up, they should probably be feeling pretty strong moving into the mid game. The only issue is they cannot let WWD continue to get these picks, because their entire lineup is based on the idea of, oh, we'll just take picks and win the game that way. So
Yep, and there was a lot of TPs used to go up to that top tower, so it looks like they might look to take it while they're here, which I think is a good idea. But at the same time, top 5 is going to make them make a hard choice.
Oh, don't worry, I'm here throwing out the stun on Ice Mike in the tower and then trying to get out of the Firefly. He is taking a lot of damage as SNA comes in too. Oh, Ice Mike takes one more tower attack and he will go down. taking the Vengeful Spirit with him. So a 1-for-1 trade in this top lane, and it looks like this is going to be a tower-for-tower trade as well. So bottom tower has gone down, and there's going to be a mass TP reaction trying to defend this tower, and they're actually going to scare off WWD. What a great play from top 5.
Yeah, phenomenal play by them. They timed it perfectly. Their TPs were well executed. They came down. They let Nature Prophet push all the way up to the tower. And then didn't TP in until the tower was already being attacked. So it gave a lot less time for WWD to choose whether or not they wanted to make that knee-jerk reaction to save the tower. So like we said, I thought the strategy here was going to be push those first three tier 1s. They've nailed it down. So I definitely look for top 5 to get into the jungle and do a bit of farming now. They have far more defensive measures against those pickoffs.
Yeah, that was the perfect timing for this as well. Because remember in the draft we were saying they want to probably start getting active somewhere between 10 and 12 minutes. Now that they have those towers down, they're going to be able to put up some aggressive wards. They're going to be able to move around the map much more easily, and TP reactions are going to be much harder for WWD. And we already see the entire team grouping up here at 11-17 because, once again, this is their time to shine. The Slardar has his Blink Dagger up, they have those towers down, and they're going to be able to move in, and they're going to move on SNA. There's going to be the Blink, followed by the stun, and SNA is going to go down before he's able to move.
Yeah, that was a stun massacre right there, and SNA really could do nothing about it. So it was a well comboed, that Blink Dagger, Slardar, and don't worry, I'm here following it. The perfect timing on the stun.
Talk about perfect timing on this activity. Now, top 5 has an opening for Roshan, and they are going to teleport in that Nature's Prophet, grab these treants, and knock this down. They have the amplified damage up on Roshan, and this is going to be really quick if WWD doesn't come try to do something about it right away. And they are scattered.
WD knows it's happening, but they can't do anything about it right now.
They're going to have to give it up. They might get this top tower in exchange just by the nature of the creeps. Okay, Ice Mike coming up, knows what's going on, and he will take that top tower as a trade. That is not the worst trade in the world, considering they were too scattered to react to this. But definitely not what they want to be doing at this time.
Yeah, no, not what they wanted at all.
Now
at the end of the
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, at the end of the day, when you're trading all of your tier 1s and a Roche for a tier 1, that's not where you want to find yourself right now.
Yeah, and top 5 starting into the phase of the game where they're grouping up and making sure that they're just getting huge picks. And WWD doesn't really want to move in and team fight this either. What they really want to do is just find heroes out. Top 5 is doing a very good job of keeping at least 4 heroes together all the time. Shades is going to be caught out here by Usher, the orb, and the finger is going to bring him down.
And I want to point out, WWD through this has been doing very well on the farm. Obviously, the Hand of Midas is helping, but he is the highest level on the map right now with that Hand of Midas boots and his drums up. So I think that they're kind of counting on this Luna to get online a lot faster than top 5 might be expecting.
All right, top 5 is going to go ahead and smoke up here. And they are trying to move down to the jungle. There's no one there to find, much to their dismay.
Yeah, they made a little spar move on Luna in the mid, and then Luna turned south to head into the jungle to get the creeps closest to the camp, and I think they thought she might be heading deeper into the jungle farm. So I think it was a good smoke based on that. Unfortunately,
well, it might turn out because SNA is going to run into them. There's going to be a stun. It's going to miss because of a beautiful phase shift. What a play coming out of that puck.
So, yeah, great play by SNA. You know, we've come to expect that from SNA's puck. Well-timed phase shifts. And coming in from the opposite side of that tower is really what hurt them because they had to get in range for Slardar to get his stun off.
All right, there is a haste rune that is going to be bottled up by Pugna, who has the mechanism up and almost has a force staff up. Taking a look at some of our write-ups here. Drums are up on the Luna. We have some new wards coming up on whatever. I suspect those are going to be fairly aggressive, as they are counter-warding their own jungle.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning Nature's Prophet just got the Hand of Midas at 1420.
Yeah, that's very, very late. And we said Nature's Prophet would probably go for a Hand of Midas as his first major item, but did not necessarily expect it to come out after 12 minutes. This is going to be hurting top 5 for quite some time.
Yeah. It is, and I think it's going to put them in a little bit of a tough position. They did get off to a strong start with those towers, but here's the part where Team WWD gets to start showing some aggression.
All right, looking at our net worth, because I have had kills and deaths up for a while. Actually,
big move on the mid.
Yeah, we do see a mid dream point. That Shanks is mech'd up, but he will end up going down. SNA just narrowly getting out of the ice blast and trying. Oh, Slar trying to chase it over there. He's going to go put up the sprint. and he is not going to be able to chase that out as Puck is able to get away. However, they are able to pick off that Crystal Maiden in the mid, and it looks like they want to make this into a full-fledged push. Nature's Prophet will be up in 6 seconds and will be able to TP down. He's already got some treants there with them, and it looks like they're just waiting for creeps.
Yep. And Nature's Prophet, an interesting hero, one of those heroes that, you know, you don't want anybody to fall off in the early game, but if someone's going to have a hard time getting some farm, I think you want the Nature Prophet to be that one, because he has the ability to get himself back up and running very quickly with his split push potential.
Yeah, not only can he do that, he can do it fairly safely. He can do it both in the jungle and in lane. And you're right. If there is a hero, that's part of the reason he's such a strong offlaner. Okay, 1-2-3 is actually going to be frozen into the tower range there. Take a lot of damage. He's down to about 430 health. And he's not going to back out. He does not have any urn charges, but he is going to sit by the periphery and wait for the blink. Pugna trying to knock down this tower. The auto attack's going out. There are no treants as the Bat Rider tries to get in for a gank on Shanks. Not able to get that lasso. The reduced range really hurting him here.
Yeah, and Pugna doing a good job using that Nether Ward to make sure that the distance is maintained for what they're trying to accomplish here. I also like the use of Sentry Wards coming out of top 5 in this game. They have been very aggressive with them and have used it to their advantage consistently to make sure that these tower pushes are safe.
Yeah, and they are going to move in with treants now. This should be a dead tower as 1-2-3 blinks in, trying to get himself a little bit of space. Don't worry, I'm here. Has been lassoed in as the tower falls. Dream Coil is going to prevent top 5 from being able to move in. The mechanism goes out as the Eclipse damages everybody on top 5. And one more Lucent Beam will be the end of Pugna now. Whatever, trying to take down SNA. 1-2-3 has been, sheeped up, and he's going to drop, popping the Aegis. The rest of his team is dead. SNA is going to back out, but this is a 1-on-3 for 1-2-3. He's down to about 500 health. He's taking some auto attacks. The orb is going to be enough, and Crystal Maiden getting that last hit. That is a full team wipe plus an Aegis for 1 tower.
So that's a 6-for-1 tower. Great patience by WWD to know that the right time to go in on that, and they nailed it. The second the tower dropped, they made a hell of an exchange. Yeah,
and you never want to watch your towers drop, but they're going to get a tower out of that as well, at least 1 tower. They can feel pretty confident about that trade. Oh, that Ice Blast. Very nice. SNA is going to go down from that. WWD also going to be very low, but I don't think he's going to drop. Take a look at some of his health. He's sitting down at 270 at the moment, and Ice Blast is going to expire. But yeah, what a shot. That Ice Blast did not go on the tower. I actually want to point out how perfect that was. Tower was here. All the heroes were lined up about there. Ice Blast was marked there, knowing the tower would drop and that everyone would back up. And they walked right into it, even though they could see it, because they knew that they had to back up right after that tower. Very nice predictive move from whatever. What a stellar play. And they managed to mop up a kill, at least making something out of that terrible trade.
Yeah, so a bad trade for them, but once again, Ancient Apparition shows why he can be such a great support, the ability to finish off those fights, sort of like, you used to see Zeus do back when he was popular, etc.
Yeah. We are seeing whatever also going for the Ghanums now. He's about...
Over by the secret shop, we got some conflict.
Oh, Whoosh is going to be taken down here. As Ice Mike teleports in to try and help him. Shank's coming in to help his teammate. Don't worry, I'm here. It's going to get away as Ice Mike throws out one last step to get him. He's not going to be able to, and the auto attacks are going to bring him down. SMA is going to orb John away and leave Pillows by himself. There's the Nether Blast. Oh, Pugna trying to get the ult, but the range expires. However, 1-2-3 is going to blink and get the stun and grab that kill. That is 3 heroes down. And they're going to push the tower on the heels of that. What a nice play coming out of top 5. Even after that team wipe that they suffered, they were able to move through, take a very, very nice engagement as everybody who could for both teams moved into that secret shop cove.
Yeah, it was good rotations by top 5. I don't think WWD expected them to seek an engagement as quickly as they did. And it was smart play. You see that from great players and great teams. Their organization was perfect, and they knew that after a big score is the best time to get your own score.
Now, Luna is farming the jungle while this goes down, so they're at least trying to make some lemonade out of these lemons. They're down to 1 outage tier tower, though, and they still have to deal with the push of the Nature's Prophet, along with the split push potential of that AA. And the damage potential is just going to get worse and worse coming out of top 5 as they start to 5-man more, as that Chilling Touch gives more damage, as the Vengeful Spirit gets her aura up. It's only level 2 right now on that Vengeance aura.
Now, Luna, it is worth noting, is 3 levels over her primary opponent, the Slarter, and she also just got her BKB online to go alongside of the Hand of Midas. So
And, yeah.
she's in a pretty good position with that BKB up at the 20-minute mark. By the same token, however, Slarter is very close to having his BKB online as well.
Yeah, that Midas has already paid for itself well and over. She is sitting way on top of the net worth. She's sitting above the Pugna by about 1,000, above the Slardar by about 2,500. I'm going to go and take a look at our gold graph because we haven't met, mostly because it's such a close game that, yeah, it's almost negligible. WWD has actually a fairly marginal experience lead at about 5,000. The gold lead sitting at about 3,000 in favor of top 5. And that's largely on the base of WWD had that Midas up so much earlier, and they've been split up and farming while top 5 been focused on pushing.
Well, when we talk about the value of the re-engagement after losing a big fight, look at those 2 spikes that come out. You know exactly
up in the top, we are going to see a huge gank on Shanks, and he has absolutely no chance to survive. Make his time. He goes down.
And Smoke on the bottom. Looks like they are trying to find themselves some pillows, but Pillow's hiding like a champion.
And he is going to go ahead and TP himself away. They know where he is. They pinged him out. But he gets away. This is the last outer tier tower. Let's see if there are TPs. Yeah, there are TPs on everyone except Pillows who just used this TP. So there could be a reaction here. This tower is at full health. But they do have a catapult along with the Pugna and a decent creep army. This is going to go down very quickly. They are going to use the glyph. And they're trying to get this trade before they have to teleport in. WWD. Nature's Prophet using his ultimate, trying to force that WWD off this tower. They're not going to be able to. The AA ult coming in, and it is going to land on WWD's 2 primary gank members on that Luna and on the Puck, or 2 primary team fight members, excuse me. So they are not going to be able to go down and team fight right away, meaning that is going to be a tower for tower trade. Shanks is invisible here and moving in. He's got a Shadow Blade up now.
That's Sentry Ward.
Sentry Ward goes down. 1, 2, 3 coming in and defending as IX Mike taking some auto attacks. He is going to be forced staff back to safety. Little hesitant to pull the trigger, IX Mike, and for good reason. He did not really feel comfortable. He had vision of 1, 2, 3 moving in, and as soon as 1, 2, 3 moved in, you could see the gears in his brain start to turn very quickly. Maybe this is non-engagement that I want to activate.
Yeah, it was a smart Sentry Ward. They knew that something was going on around there. They knew that Shanks had been farming. And I don't think he body blocked by accident, but it was a great ward. However, like you said, great ability to disengage from IX Mike. That's the thing you constantly see, is that want for the kill results in a team wipe or a turnaround. And he had the patience to say, you know what, we got what we came for. We're going to get out of here. Yeah,
absolutely. Roshan is up. Top 5 has just counter-warded it, and they don't appear to think that there are any wards because there are none. That this ward does miss 1 or 2 potential ward spots for that Roshan, but I think they feel pretty confident moving into a Roshan pick at this time.
Yeah, definitely.
They know there are wards up here too. They are coming up and trying to counter ward. They are just outside of range, so that landing right about there and right about there. So they are just outside of range for counter warding with that sentry, unfortunately.
So yeah, taking a look at that gold chart has been all over, and WWD has consistently and constantly been trying to pull that back into their favor. It's just spike after spike of them trying to regain control of this game.
Pugna looks like he's going to go for a Sheeper here. Lion has his 4-staff up along with the Bat Rider. The Crystal Maiden is close to her 4-staff as well, and Pugna is starting to work on the Dagon.
So I think right now, I like where top 5's going. I like the way that they've played out this lineup, and now they're going to go for that Roche. And once again, they didn't do it until Team WWE was spread out across the entire map.
Yeah, top 5 does not have quite as good vision as WWD. WWD doing an excellent job dropping wards, but they have enough wards up there that they have a general idea of when WWD is grouped and when they aren't. And that's all you need to know when you're, oh, Pillows is going to drop the ulti and do really good damage across the team, but 1, 2, 3 knows where he is, and it's just going to walk in and wreck him. And now WWD on Team WWD, moving in with the Luna on the Eclipse, throwing down a Lucent Beam as well, grabbing 2 kills as the Puck jumps in as well. The Bat Rider is going to grab a pickup on Shanks, but he is going to go down. Shanks also going down to the Firefly. 1, 2, 3 is going to have that Aegis popped immediately. 3 buybacks for top 5 as they re-engage. Puck is going to try to nuke down whatever with that Dagon. It is not enough as Luna taking some auto attacks. There's going to be Sun coming out. 1, 2, 3, and some auto attacks coming from Nature's Prophet. And that's a 5-man wipe.
Holy cow. So Crystal Maiden opens up with one of my favorite baits that I have seen this month. She goes into the jungle. She uses her ulti. How can the team not respond by seeking out a fast stun? And that puts them all in exactly the same location so that they can come in and open up like crazy. But somehow, with that Aegis, top 5 turns it around and gets a team wipe.
Not only did they grab the team wipe, the timing is perfect. Look where the lanes are. Top lane, not far enough to push. Both bottom and mid lane push in, which means that they have perfect opportunity to force a dreamlike engagement in terms of push. Oh, there's going to be the swap coming out of BS. And 1, 2, 3 is going to go in and grab that Lion. He wants to get this Rax as well. The Pugna trying to knock him down. Luna moving in. Unable to really do so, though. There's going to be the Puck dropping in, throwing out the silence. There's going to be the back kick bar moving up on the Luna as he tries to move out. And he will be able. Oh, very nice dodge coming out of Pillow and Luna. There's the Dream Coil as they chase out. Oh, but 1, 2, 3 wants to re-engage, stunning on Ice Mike, and he grabs that kill. His blacking bar still up while WWD's is down, and he's got Sprint up. He is attacking down, and the Pugna is going to grab that last hit as well. That is a double kill coming out for Fly, and now there are not a lot of buybacks left for WWD to move on this. All the lanes except top still push in towards their base.
Yeah, that was a tough exchange. I think
wow.
Wow.
What a kill for SNA.
So down goes Venge, but I think Luna just blew that BKB a bit prematurely.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They paid the consequences for that.
They did not expect the re-engagement there. They thought once they pushed top 5 out, they would be safe. Turned out not to be the case. Bucket's going to get away. Lion not so lucky. And this kill count has rapidly swung into the favor of top 5, along with the Rax and some tower damage down on the bottom. The creeps not doing any damage to their top lane because the equilibrium was about here when all that started, although it was pushing in. What a perfect set of engagements for top 5. They could not have asked for a better situation.
They really couldn't have, and a lot of that comes from the early kill, the first 2 towers, because that got Slark's dagger online, and they have just been really sort of snowballing themselves into these team engagements very, very well. But focusing on the communication, Pugna's execution of the Nether Ward has been nothing short of excellent. The Nether Ward not even able to be focused down primarily in a lot of these fights. He's putting them in such good locations.
And for the first time since the first blood, top 5 taking the experienced lead at a negligible level. However, their gold lead is now sitting at about 7,500. The only hero on WWD that really has a significant amount of gold is Luna, and she is tied with the Slardar at this point, even though she's had that Midas up now for a solid 20 minutes, more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, she picked it up on that fast 5, remember? So
she got it up at about 5:45 or 6:45, something like that.
Yep. So it has paid for itself, and they put a lot of eggs in her basket. But the early Blink Dagger and the ability of top 5 to aggress those towers after that has kept her from becoming everything she hopes to be.
She's sitting at 555 gold per minute, with 600 being that magic number that every carry really wants to hit. That is the number that the international statistics split at between games that go over 600 for a player in the game and games that do not. She is very, very close to that. She is sitting pretty high. And if she was getting towers and racks the way top 5 is, if her team was really able to push out the way top 5 is pushing out, they would have her well and above that 600 mark. They know Ice Mike's down here. They see the fire trail, and they're going to follow it all the way back to the gingerbread house.
And they may not get Ix Mike, but they're going to find... Oh, no, Pillow's
very nice force staff, as Pillows just squeaks out on the edge of my screen.
I don't know if she knew what level of doom she was in for had she not done that.
But she could sense something was up because she went a scurrying. And they're just going to engage on this mid lane. A very nice swap. WWD has been sheathed, and she is going to go down before she can grab. There's the Dream Coil, but it is too late. BKB is up, but the lasso goes through, picks up that Slardar. Slardar just pulled into the base, not necessarily where they want him to be. 1, 2, 3 is going to grab that stun, followed by the stun down. One more auto attack is going to bring down the Crystal Maiden as well. And the Treants are called. We are seeing some attacking here on the second tier 3 that potentially is going to go down. There are no buybacks for Crystal Maiden or Luna. The Ice Mike does not have the lasso. He has got to wait it out. The Puck also sitting around here. He's going to move in with the... Oh, he's going to be sheeped down, immediately goes down. Now Oosh going down as well as he throws out the finger. He's going to buy back. He's the only hero with buyback as Ice Mike trying to get away from the Puck. Now Oosh coming up to cover his retreat, but he cannot cover the Rax.
So Lion does the buyback, and it looks like I think
that is a dieback.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing a GG here, most likely. They just don't have the ability. Luna is not a hard enough carry at this point to stand up to the aggression.
Yep, there is nothing that they can do here at this time. Another melee Rax goes down. They do not have the split push that top 5 has. Whatever might, no, he's actually going to get away as well. Shanks is sitting here very, very low. Cannot afford to engage on this. He's going to TP out. Whatever is going to go down. Fly also on the chopping block, but it probably does not matter. The split push potential for top 5 means that at this point in time, all they gotta do is wait and hold their own. They just can't be pushed down the middle. That's all they have to avoid.
Luna was able to pick up a lot of kills in that sequence, and she was able to get a good amount of stuff online. So her Yasha is up, her Dominator is up, and she is pretty substantially ahead in the levels now, 18 compared to the nearest any of the opposing team.
She has literally the exact same net worth as the Nature's Prophet right now, though. Oh, she just got ahead of him by 1 creep.
Yeah, and Nature's Prophet, however, did just pick up his Hex Stick. So I think that while Luna is in a position to finally start making a difference in this fight, the amount of Hex Stick that we're seeing is going to pretty much be the end of her. Slardar, also worth noticing, should have his AC up very soon.
Yeah, quick reactions on those hexes, also making the puck essentially irrelevant, as he is blinking in, but before he can do anything, he's being hexed out. Very, very nice reactions coming out of the entire top 5 squad. And yeah, at this point in time, like I said, the split push on top 5 is just completely overpowering for WWD in terms of their ability to handle it. There's going to be some counter warding coming out of Don't Worry. As
up
Puck,
on top,
yeah.
Puck got caught out. So he was looking for some farm, and it was the Blink Port combo.
So the next engagement that we see top 5 win, and Ice Mike trying to take that 1-2-3 with the line, he's going to be able to do it. That's a really nice pick.
Yeah, it was. It was actually a really great pick because what he did is he waited. He started his channel on the creeps as they sort of headed up the lane and didn't start it until after the two who had just ganked Puck on top made the corner here in the jungle. So they did not see the TP coming in. He was able to make a big grab here and drag him back across.
Yeah.
So good vision usage by IX.
There's a swap on pillows, however, and that's going to be a very dead lady. This is the wrong side of town, Crystal Maiden.
Yeah.
Go back to your book club. You are not wanted here.
Should not have been walking on that side of the river, Crystal Maiden.
No, definitely the wrong side of the tracks. All right. Yeah, Ice Mike is actually farming out. That's pretty cheeky. Ice Mike coming up, finding out where the Treants are farming for Nature's Prophet, and farming out both the Treants and their targets with the Firefly. They're not out of this yet, but it's going to be so difficult for them to come back from this deficit.
Yeah, what is the road to return here? I mean, Luna did get her Manta up, but what do they do to get themselves back in this is really my question.
They need to grab a couple of picks. That Slardar would have been a great point, but of course they need to grab a couple of picks while their lanes are starting to push out. Maybe grab a Roshan when he comes up, but definitely be able to push down a straight mid. And they can get the racks in the mid, or even the racks on the top, but ideally the racks on the mid. They'll be able to get themselves back into a situation where they're not constantly having to defend those lanes. So what they need to do is grab a couple of picks and be able to push out on the virtue of that. One of those picks has to be the Nature's Prophet so that there is not the global reaction, though. And one of them presumably has to be the Slardar as well.
Slaughter did just pick up an AC, so that pick is going to get a heck of a lot harder to execute. Also, gold graph worth noting, we're over a 10k advantage to top 5 at this point.
All right, and Luna has just used the gold that she had saved up for buyback. Batrider has used the gold that he had saved up for buyback. Puck has used the gold that he had saved up for buyback. So there are no buybacks for WWD. Up until about 45 seconds ago, this engagement could have been a 10-on-5 engagement for WWD, which might have been what they needed. Now they have to win it in 5-on-5. And Roshan is going to be up soon, and it looks like top 5 wants to just go take it.
Yeah. Luna should have her buyback up by the time the next engagement happens. She's only about 400 gold away from it, and Puck is about 800 gold out. So I think their goal was get those pieces. I think that they knew that top 5 was most likely going to roche here and try to farm those buybacks up before the next big push.
What a great catch. Whatever walked in literally as Roshan goes up. This is going to be Aegis and Cheese. Let's see who has the slots for it. It looks like it's going to be Slardar and AA, maybe Slardar and Pugna. Yeah, Pugna's going to grab that cheese instead. And this is probably going to be a straight mid push. Nature's Prophet splits off, tries to get that top. Nope, they're actually going to rotate top and do straight top. All right.
Yeah,
I stand corrected.
they're taking the safe approach here. They know how good WWD is, and they're showing them a lot of respect by making sure that they systematically work through the lanes.
Yeah, the other thing with that straight mid that it would open up, though, is that the Nature's Prophet would have more room to split on that. At the moment, if they don't apply any sort of pressure in the other lanes, this is going to be a 5-on-5 engagement. If they split the mid, then it would have been a 2-on-1 and a 3-on-4, most likely, which both of those work out in favor of top 5.
So it looks like this is probably going to be that big engagement we've been waiting for, to either put a nail in the coffin or to give a real big resurgence to WWE here.
Gold per minute still sitting at about 550 for the... Okay, Punk is going to come in with the Dream Coil and immediately go down. Luna's going to pop the Eclipse and move in, but the creeps are soaking up the most of it. Mechanism goes out, Shanks goes down to the ultimate from Crystal Maiden, but she's going to be swapped out to interrupt. And that's going to be 4 dead with the Luna buying back. She's going to try to re-engage on this. Nature's Prophet also buying back and immediately teleporting down. And Luna can't engage on this by herself. That's a GG for us.
That is the GG. So a great initiation. I like that Crystal Maiden's use of her ulti. It was the way you want to see her play it, but it was just too little too late for them to get themselves back in that team fight.
Yeah, Crystal Maiden had a really rough run of things this game as well, as almost every single player on top 5 had a way to interrupt her ult, which makes her so hard to play in the late game.
Absolutely.
All right, well, this has been game number 1 of a best of 3 between Top 5 and WWD for Season 4 of CEVO-Main. My name is Gorgon, the Wonder Cow. If you like my casting, you can catch me here on Join Dota, all over the place, wherever casters are needed, and also writing analysis all over the place. You can find me over at GotCowDota, at GOTCOWDOTA on the Twitter. Please do stop by for announcements about when we're casting CEVO and other events. And I'm, of course, joined, as always, by Toffee's Dota Toffees. Tell the folks where they can find more of your lovely casting.
If you liked what you hear, head over to Twitter and just the same, follow at Toffees_Dota2 for updates on this and all the tournaments I work. Also, if you haven't hit the follow button on Play CEVO 1, do so now. Play CEVO 1 is up Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.